In today's episode, I'm joined by SupaScared. If you don't know who SupaScared is, he is a skate speedrunner who recently did a speedrun of Skate 2 in front of a live audience at Summer Games Done Quick. On top of that, he regularly speedruns all 3 skate games, and not to mention just loves the skate franchise as a whole. I really enjoyed doing this episode because I got to talk to someone who's a part of a corner of the skate community that I really don't know a lot about. So it was really interesting talking to him about speedrunning all the skate games and what details go into doing that. We also talked about speedrunning in the new skate game. How would that even work with it being a live service free-to-play game? And aside from skate, I just got to know who SupaScared was, and he's just a really awesome dude, and I think you guys are gonna love this episode. If you enjoyed this one, please leave a like down below, comment down below how you feel about this episode. Also, I don't mention this a whole lot, but there is audio versions of this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you can get audio podcasts, and also it's video podcast on Spotify now as well. Kind of trying to cover all my bases here. So if you don't want to just sit here and watch it on YouTube, you can go listen on a different platform when you're on the go or when you're driving or something like that. If you do head over to one of those platforms to listen to the podcast, I would really appreciate it if you rated it and also followed the podcast over there. Stuff like that really helps the podcast grow and reach a new audience. But enough of all that, let's just jump into my episode with SupaScared. SupaScared, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing fantastic. I'm happy you accepted my invite to come on to the Hippy
Of,
Jump podcast.
of course, dude. I saw the DM and was stoked. Like, let's go.
That's great to hear. So let's just jump right into it. First question I always ask is, who are you? How would you explain what you do and who you are?
Well, I'm super scared, but you can just call me Super for short. I'm a variety speedrunner, but I specialize in skate, but also make content on a lot of other games as well. I'm a musician. I'm a husband, and I'm an artist as well. I've got a lot of different hobbies, but speedrunning is like the number one right now.
Nice. Okay, so let's take it back. Let's talk about how you initially got into speedrunning. How do you get into something like that?
So the funny thing is, I've loved speedruns so much for like the last probably 10 years or so. I think like the first Games Done Quick I ever saw was some of the events around 2013. And for years, twice a year, every summer, like my buddies and I would tune in for Summer Games Done Quick. And then in January, we'd always tune in for Awesome Games Done Quick. We were just blown away by watching people speedrun games. And I always was like, that'd be something cool to like try and do one day. But I never actually thought that I would do it. And, then fast forward a little bit, like pandemic happened. I got a capture card on clearance and was like, you know what, let's just go for it. Like I had been waiting for a really long time to see someone run any of the skate games at a Games Done Quick event or like any sort of marathon. And I had never seen it, but I knew that there was a skate speedrunning community and was like, let's just give this a shot. Like let's try speedrunning. Let's see if I like it. And I actually started speedrunning Resident Evil Village just before I started speedrunning skate. Because
Okay.
when I first really got into speedruns, a lot of the speedrunners I was watching were Resident Evil runners like Pessimism, Maxi Lobes, Bach Basoup, and I always wanted to learn like the speedruns for all the Resident Evil games and do marathons of the entire series. But Skate's always been my favorite game, like ever since 2007. So when I finally learned the Skate speedrun, it's like, okay, hold on, I just want to learn the whole franchise and just run all these games like back to back. And that's kind of what I've been doing the last like 6, 7 months or so, but mainly just been running the first Skate game for the last couple years.
Okay. Nice. When you first got into speedrunning skate, was there really a scene for that?
It wasn't very active, but people have been speedrunning the skate games for quite a long time. I know Maddie was one of the original people that like went through and they routed all of the games. I think originally with I think there was another runner named Joey, I believe. But throughout the years, you just have more runners come in, more people are kind of like a link in the chain for all the knowledge that happens. And every couple years, you have new runners come by. I know when I first started getting into it, all the runs that I were watching were by a runner named Expired Data, which I actually did a relay race, or not a relay race. We did a trilogy relay with him and the new Skate 2 world record holder today, which was super sick. We
Nice.
actually did, I did Skate's career 100%, which is just getting all the way to Danny Way's Mega Compound. And then Hecky did Skate 2 any percent, and then Expire did Skate 3, and we finished in, I think it was 3 hours and 7 minutes total.
Oh
It was
wow.
pretty fast, but that was a lot of fun. We've practiced that a couple times, and this is the first time that we got to do that at an actual event. So that was really cool.
That
But
sounds cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of people in and out of the skate speedrunning community, throughout the years. But I feel like right now it's kind of having a little resurgence. There's been new world records in all three of the main titles within the last few months, and new runners like coming to the skate speedrunning community that maybe were like skate 2 comp players that are like, hey, why aren't you doing this try pushing tech that we didn't know about, but for example, other people have known about since like 2014. Like, it's
Yeah.
it's really cool to just kind of see it start to blossom and grow even more. And I think it's going to
Um.
even do so just as we get closer to the new game too. Hopefully that'll
mhm.
have a even like more blossoming speedrunning community.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't really know about skate speedrunning until you did it. You did skate 2 at SGDQ, and then that was like that's when I found out people were even speedrunning skate. I guess I wasn't paying attention to that side of skate at all.
I
Um,
think it's just like very buried in the algorithm. Like even if you
yeah.
go on like Twitch or something and you type in skate and you look how many viewers there are, there's like 6. Like I don't know, it's just it's pretty niche, but we're all super passionate about it.
Right. Yeah. So, what is your favorite game to speedrun? Well, have you speedran all three of them? And then, like, what is the easiest
Yeah,
or the best one to do it? I don't, you know.
it's so the first I speedrun all 3 games, but I also speedrun skated on Wii. I had
Okay.
to I had to learn it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I plan on doing a franchise speedrun soon. I really want to try and get all of the runs done in under 5 hours. Just as long as I don't have like capture card issues with the Wii or anything, that should be like very doable. So hopefully gonna do that soon. But I kind of go back and forth. So I always just say that the first skate game just has a really special place in my heart. I've been playing that since the demo for it released. So
Mm,
like when that first released, my homies and I would skate up to the Walmart. We'd go play the demo on the PS3, and we were just waiting for September to come so someone could get it on Xbox and we could play it. But
yeah.
um, so I normally gravitate towards the first game and skate career 100%. So the route where you have to get the cover for both magazines and then make it to Danny Way's Mega Compound and beat him there. That's probably my favorite run to do. Skate 2 is a lot of fun too, but there's a new YOLO strat that a brand new runner to our community, Heck again, just came up with a couple weeks ago. And it's literally a YOLO strat because you have one opportunity. I don't know if you're familiar with the challenge in Skate 2 called Like Skate Whatevs, but what you have to
I
do
don't
is
know.
you're in a no skate zone and you have to grab 2 different ramps and then this weird little kink rail, and you have to move them so that you can sequence all of them.
Mm,
But Mongo Corp is all around you, all the security. So if you try to hit it once without moving the ramps and like manualing all the way to the corner where the ramp is sitting and you fail it, like 4 to 6 security guards are just going to come flocking that area, and you now have like no way to save the challenge, and you kind of have to like leave the area and come back and then just do it the normal safe way.
Mm.
But before that was implemented into the run, I would say that that was probably one of my favorites, just because it's like a just under 40-minute speed run. So you can do
Dang.
more attempts. So sometimes that's just more fun to do.
Okay. So with these runs you're doing in skate, how quickly is it like, oh, this run is dead? Like if you mess up,
Oh,
is there room for error?
there's so there's always room for error, and there's always room for things to go wrong. Um, Especially like I mean in all the games actually, because you you have to be able to do all of your tricks perfect every time. Because let's say you fall once, that's going to be anywhere from like a 7 to 15 second time loss. Sometimes
Dang.
even more than that, and that's just falling one time.
Yeah.
So then you have to think of like the follow challenges, the death races. You know, cars can be anywhere at any point in time. So can pedestrians.
Yeah.
You know, even you can just be trying to do a film challenge, and maybe you're doing like nollie pops and 180s across a street just to quickly do 1080 degrees of spinning, and then out of nowhere Rob Deerdick comes flying down the hill and just knocks you over, and now you lost 30 seconds on a film challenge. So there's always room for like extreme error, but on my current splits, on one of the last challenges, I have like a minute of time save, so it's just like now getting to that point in the run perfectly, and then doing that challenge first time. And once I do that, I'll save like another minute, and then I should be like really low 103 for that category, and hopefully secure a world record for it. Super
Nice.
close.
Have
But
you gotten world records in any of them in the past?
so I wouldn't like technically say it. I have the fastest known time for Skate X Games percent on the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 just has, slower loads. Anytime you're trying to even drag the cursor across the menu, it's 30 FPS instead of 60, so it's gonna take you twice as much time.
Hmm.
Um, so I have the fastest known time, at least on speedrun.com, on that console, but I wouldn't like boast that it's a world record or anything.
Okay, I got you.
But I'm
Um,
close. I'm close, and I've been very close. I threw world record this morning, but I
okay.
did get a new PB by like 42 seconds, I think.
42 seconds.
Yeah.
That seems like very like how much like improvement do you need to get get to these records that you want?
So the thing is here, I'm gonna real fast. I'm gonna pull up speedrun.com just so I can tell you like the actual stats,
Okay.
because all of the runs have changed so much this year
Are they
that
like minutes apart or
yeah, at like now I would say like the new routing. So the old routing for career 100%, you would just do all of the skateboard magazine challenges. You'd get the cover of skateboard magazine, and then you would unlock X Games. But instead of going to X Games, you would then go do all the Thrasher challenges. And then once you got the cover of Thrasher, go to the Danny Way Mega Compound. But
okay.
you actually unlock the Thrasher challenges, I think, shortly after you get your first sponsor. So, like, not even halfway through the challenge tree for Skateboard Mag. So, Expired did a ton of rerouting earlier this year. I know Mini did a lot of routing to another runner, and kind of combined them all. So, you start doing the Thrasher challenges 20 minutes earlier, and now you're able to have all of this less loading time from like going from one side of the map to the other, because now we're doing, similar challenges like that are in downtown together, or that are in
Oh,
Old
okay.
Town together, or at the Spillway. So it's like, instead of, just focusing on one magazine and then the next, being able to do them all together, um, has allowed us to cut out one of the contests. And that contest is, I believe, a 2-minute timer that you just have to let go like until it's done. So that's a two
Mm.
minute time save there. Plus you have all the loading time. So I think the previous world record, like earlier this year, it had stood for about 4 years. Expired hadn't. It was an hour and 6 minutes. And then this new route was developed in like the middle of February, and only two of us ran it. Mini did a run and got a 103.34, and I did a run and I got a 104.48. And then
Okay.
earlier today I got a 104.02.
Dang.
Yeah, I was really close, but I had some bad skill issues.
It, it
You
seems,
look over at your timer and you see current pace and it's faster than world record, and the heart just kind of starts fluttering and you get the
yeah,
butterflies in your stomach. It's hard to even hold the right stick.
right. Pressure gets you. I wouldn't be
Yep.
able to do that. So that kind of leads me into doing it at SGDQ. Like you did that in a live space in front of an audience. Like what was that? First, how did you even end up there? First of all.
Um
Like,
so that's been a dream of mine like for so long. Kind of like I was saying earlier. Sorry, I might have got sidetracked.
no, you're
I've
good.
been watching GDQ for like 10 years, and it was always just like, it'd be so cool to go to the event one day, or it'd be so cool to be on the couch for someone one day, or even be a runner. And when I decided to start streaming in 2021, I was like, let's just go for it. Let's just see what happens. And um, I'll try submitting for games done quick, and I'll just, put my heart into it. And I think it was just right place, right time, right energy for it. I'm not sure. I think the hype with the new game helped a lot, but I submitted Skate X Games percent. It was the first time I had ever submitted to a speedrun marathon, the first time I had ever like attempted to do anything, and I submitted it for Awesome Games Done Quick. That was January of this year, and I got accepted. And
Hmm.
I got to do that, but that was an online event because they had some issues with the venue in Florida. So they did that online, and I was so stoked and I was so excited to, make it to the GDQ stage. But it's like I wanted to do it in person.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to do it in person. And that night, I went home. I downloaded Skate 2. I learned the speed run, and I just got my submission ready for Summer Games Done Quick. And I started grinding the any percent category as much as I could, and then submitted that. And once I submitted that, I learned Skate 3, and I also learned Skate It. And then, just hoping to submit those to future marathons as well. But again, I think it was just a right place, right time. And I'm super thankful that they accepted my submissions, and I got to go do it twice, especially live.
Mm,
Just hope I get to do it again, It was a
yeah.
lot of fun. It's
What
a
was it like playing in front of a crowd like that?
it was a whole different ball game than doing it live. Like when I did it for AGDQ online, it didn't feel much different than a normal stream, other than that I had a host and a commentator in my ear every now and again, like reading donations.
Hmm.
Obviously, that like immersed me in being at GDQ, but other than that, like my surroundings weren't different. It was my monitor, it was my
Yeah.
chair. There wasn't a crowd behind me. And at GDQ, I ran on the first day, so I just kind of got there and was like, okay, this is starting. Like I didn't have too much time to like overthink it or anything. But I
You are
I
lagging on
was
my end. Hold on.
oh no, it's okay.
Sorry. Can you say? Can you back up a little bit and say it again?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
think we're good.
Um no, it was so I was running on the first day of GDQ, and I was also running, I think I ran at like 5. So I think I was the 5th run of the event, so it's like I got there and I didn't have much time to think about it or really overthink it. It's just like, okay, this is happening. Let's do a practice run in the practice room so I can like say I got the full experience here. And
Mm,
then when I was waiting, behind the stage, it was a really just surreal feeling, like seeing people in the crowd, but sitting down, putting the headset on, and like starting the run. Once I said 3, 2, 1, and like started, and then heard people like kind of start to clap and cheer behind me, it just like I don't know, it like flipped a light switch, and I was just like totally immersed in the run, just ready to go. It was like the most fun I've ever had doing a speed run, even though I had like so many bad moments of RNG, like, getting hit by a car and other things like that. But it was it was just such an awesome experience. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do something like that, so it was just, dream come true kind of thing for me.
No, that's awesome. That seems really cool. There and when you're playing, I mean, if anyone has never watched GDQ, like, so you're trying to speedrun this game, and then you have moderators and stuff, like you said, they read donations and stuff. How distracting is that to you? Is it kind of hard to focus on the speedrun when people are doing stuff like that?
Um, it's not too hard. Luckily for me, I really kind of like pre-scripted my speed run, and I practiced like not necessarily like a word for word script, but I pretty much had rehearsed everything I was gonna say, or like moments that I knew that would be a good spot to ask for a donation and
Okay.
things like that. So like luckily they weren't like interrupting or like talking over me.
Right.
Excuse me. So it wasn't really distracting. It kind of helped, honestly, because I was like talking I was talking out every single like thought and action, or like every like input even that I was pressing for certain challenges, and it just kind of like was reminding me to make sure I wasn't doing an extra like push somewhere, or like pumping somewhere I didn't need to, or anything like that. So
Mm,
it almost kind of helped me stay on track, if that makes sense. I
okay.
don't know. It was kind of weird. I suppose it wasn't any different than when I normally speedrun, because I don't do speedruns offline very often. I'm normally speedrunning and just like staring at my chat and talking to chat, which,
Right. Yeah.
because I'm doing that, I then have to reset a lot because I'm not looking at my screen.
Yeah.
So I would say it was less distracting than a normal screen, because I was just like my eyes were purely focused on the gameplay.
Okay. And for the Skate 2 run that you did at that event, were you trying to go for a world record, or were you just speed running the game just for
I
fun?
I was trying to go for a world record. I think I was very close to second place, but on
Okay.
the Get Blind with Jake challenges, it's this one challenge where you have to bomb down a hill, and at the very bottom of the hill, there's a street going from left to right, and depending if the cars have a red or green light, they're gonna hit you
Yeah.
essentially. And I got very unlucky there twice, so I think I lost like 40 seconds just to that challenge. But I PB'd by like 10 or 15 seconds. Like I still got a third place time at GDQ doing that. So that was really cool. And then I also PB'd at AGDQ earlier this year, which was wild. And then, you have a run like the one I had earlier today. Um, when we did the skate trilogy relay, it was the worst skate speedrun I've done in the last like 5 months.
Oh,
So I guess marathon luck can go either way.
yeah. I feel like, man, speedrunning a game like Skate is such a gamble, because like you can fall so many different ways. Like you said, you can get hit by cars, people can run into you. I mean, I feel like
You
it's got to
bonk a
be
curb a little bit.
right. Like it's got to be tough trying to speedrun these games. I've never
It,
tried it,
it's
so
it's very tough. Like, even if you're like a casual player, like I feel like there's some challenges that everyone struggles with. And the thing
yeah,
with speedrunning these games is it's like you have to be able to do all of these challenges hundreds of times consistently so that you can get all the way through the run. It's not about just doing it like one time, it's about doing every single one consistently. So it's so much about like precision and consistency more than it even is about speed.
yeah,
Because even like Skate 2 and Skate 3, like those games have, a little bit more for speed glitches. Skate 1 doesn't really have anything other than like nollie pops and try pushing. But even in those games, if you wanted to start speedrunning them and you did it without speed glitches and you first tried every challenge, you could get a very, very top time,
yeah.
just because
So
it's so much more about that precision. The challenges
is
are
there
so hard.
uh is there a certain category that includes speed glitches and then one that doesn't? Like, are speed glitches cool?
Yeah, no, they're cool. They are heavily used in the Skate 3 run. They're used
Okay.
in Skate 2 as well, but it's more so this I know there's like a handful of speed glitches in Skate 2, and some of them you like need a metronome to do like 6 frame perfect inputs. Those kind of speed glitches we don't do because getting that consistent every single time you want to do it is like almost impossible. Whereas the
Yeah.
one time you fall, you're gonna lose 7 seconds, and then it just like voided the last 2 speed glitches that you did, you know. But the ones on Skate 3 are used all the time. That was just completely rerouted to, um, I think, mainly between Y3 Luke, Cypress, and Expired Data. I think they all kind of were rerouting Skate 3 together
Hmm.
the last like month or so, and um, like the end of that speed run. So you know how that game has all of like the ad photos, the billboard photos, the team films, where you have to
Yeah.
like switch to your other skater and do like 5 tricks or whatever.
Right.
So for the speed run, the like fastest way to do that is just to do 5 quick nose manuals. Well, I think there's a total of like I think it's like 19 of those challenges. Um, and like 14 of them were saved for the very end of the run. So the end of Skate 3 used to just be about 3 minutes of opening the menu, starting a challenge, doing a nose manual, like stationary for half a second, and then rinse and repeating through all those challenges.
Mm.
But with the new reroute, they've routed it to where certain challenges were, let's say you could push for 8 seconds, you know, down a street, and you'd be able to like get to the next challenge that you could accept. Well, like, you know, kind of routing when to perfectly do all those films in there. And um, what they're doing now is it's like the moment the loading screen is coming up to end the challenge, they're doing a speed glitch to then shoot them as far as possible as they can in that like 1.5 seconds that are left before you would just open the menu and start the next challenge. So it's
Mm.
like it's really wild to see how the speed glitches are like used throughout the run because it's not just used in death races. It's used to like just really get around fast, even when you're not moving like through menus.
Yeah. But I feel like even then, like when you're speed glitching, like anything can happen. You can fly into a wall, like you can fall so easily. So I feel like
Most
that's
definitely,
that's still a gamble. That's crazy.
most definitely, it's a big gamble, and that's why too. Like you honestly could get through all the games in like a really top time. Like I think um no, I know for sure my the first time I got third place for Skate 2 any percent, it was a 38:30. I didn't use a single speed glitch in that. It was just like,
Dang.
you know, almost doing everything first try, like almost. But
That's crazy.
I think you could probably do Skate 3 in like an hour and 12 minutes without speed glitches,
Mm.
which that would be I mean that you could probably still get like a top 5 time without using any speed glitches if you were just like super precise on your challenges. Um, but there's so much RNG in the games. Like in Skate 3, some of the weird RNG is with all of the death races. So the death races, most of them, I think there's 2 that aren't. They're team death races. So depending if it's 2v2 or 3v3, if your teammate comes in last place and you speed glitch to the finish line and get first place, you still lose. So there's that, you know, there's that RNG, and you need your skater to like, you know, not suck.
Yeah, right.
And then, you know, just like the first game's got a lot of RNG as well with like the cars, and then obviously with Shingo, Eric, and P Rod. Because the first game is the only one that we actually play skate in. The other ones we don't have to do that, but
Okay.
we have to play skate 3 times in the first game. And anytime, let's say anytime like Shingo or P Rod or Eric, anytime they land their first trick, you have to open up the menu and reset the challenge because they get to set the trick first. And we need them to fall first try to be able to, you know, do it optimally.
Oh,
But you can
really?
get, yeah, but you can get 30 minutes into the run, and P-Rod lands his first like 15 challenges, and it's like, okay, dude, I gotta reset now. Like, you
Dude,
probably
see,
would have
that's
reset
just
like
it's
way
so
before
random.
then. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, I was doing practice runs for like a good hour or so on stream the other day, and I couldn't get past Shingo. Like the run starts out with rolling rehab. You have 15 seconds to skate. You do one flip trick and one grab. You go over to Shingo, and then you start the first skate challenge. And then he lands two tricks, and you reset the run. And you rinse and repeat until he hopefully falls the first time, maybe the second time. But if he's landing two tricks, you're already like plus 20 seconds, a minute into the run, and it's not even worth continuing at that point,
Dang,
you
that
know,
quick.
because it's just going to like continue to compound.
Mm,
It's like
that's
better
so
to,
crazy.
it's always a gamble, because it's like you could start the run really bad, and then the like last 80% of the run is picture perfect, and you somehow PB'd and saved a minute. Like that can
Yeah.
happen, but there's also like, like there's a lot of time that gets spent doing these attempts, and sometimes it's just like, well, is it like worth the risk for the reward, or should I just reset the run and you know
Yeah.
hope I get like a good start at least, because then you get good vibes going into the rest of the run.
Right.
But sometimes you can get a perfect Eric, you can get a perfect Shingo, and then like I said, P Rod lands 15 of them, and every one of those is 10 seconds. That's just about 3 minutes, with loading screens and everything too.
Yeah. It's so funny because like those games of skates, like that could be like so easily scripted, but since skate is skate, it's just like who knows? It's just random.
Right? It's like it is super scripted how we have it. It's like they all kind of have their own little trick um,
Mm,
to them. So the first one was Shingo. He can't. Well, he can, but more than likely, he can't do anything that involves the board flipping and spinning. So if you're doing like inward heel flips or hard
okay.
flips, he's not good at that, or 360 flips, lasers, whatever. And then also, if you do a 180 spin with that, it for whatever reason like speeds up his fall animation by like half a second, and he does a really low pop ollie instead of like a high one and floats through the air. So there are like
Mm,
slight little things we do. Like I always do the same tricks every single time. I do a 360 hard flip, 180, and then I do a 360 inward heel 180, and then I do a nollie 360 hard flip 180, nollie 360 inward heel flip 180, and then I go back to my first trick.
that's
And that's
crazy
just
that
how
you
I do
have
it
all that
every time.
memorized.
I've done it thousands of times, unfortunately. And then,
How
huh?
how long have you practiced speed running skate?
Speed running skate, like I
Like
honestly don't even know like the last couple of years, but I've played the first game. Like it's been like my main game, or like the game that always felt home to me since like
yeah.
'07. So even when I wasn't gaming very often, it's like if I would break out the Xbox or something, that's what I would always go to first. So like lifetime hours in the game, I have absolutely no idea. But as far as speedrunning, normally I could like just look at my live split and then give you a time, but every time the route changes, I make new splits. So it's like, I know that I have like 144 attempts on the current route, but I think on X Games percent alone, I was like upwards of 1,000.
Oh my
And that's
god.
that's that's attempts. That's not completed. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you reset at Shingo every minute for an hour, so it can stack up fast. But I've put a lot of time into it, and so have a lot of other runners,
Man.
which just helps. Because then when new runners come, it's like, we all just keep passing the information on, and just being another link in the chain, essentially.
Yeah. Like you have it all laid out, kind of.
Yeah, like we have a Discord where we share everything, and then I also have a couple speedrun explained, and I feel like both of my GDQ runs could also just be used as like a tutorial, even if you wanted to run the game casually. even if you didn't want to go for a top time, you just wanted to be like, I want to beat Skate 2 in under an hour. Like, I feel like you could watch any of those and get it. But you could also, if you go to like speedrun.com and you look up any of the skate games, our Discord is linked with all of them. And you just click that, come on in, say hi, and ask any questions away. Anytime someone wants to run the skate games, we all get very excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't like you're not gatekeeping it or anything.
No, not at all. Please come join us. And if you notice that there is some tech that that we're not doing, please just tell us about it.
Man.
Like, do you know what try pushing is? Like the fast pushes that a lot of people did in like Skate 2 comp.
I've heard of it, but I don't really know exactly what it is.
Okay. It's I had honestly, I don't think I ever saw a clip of it until a few days ago. I can send you a clip later if you want to see what it looks like. But
For sure.
essentially, let's say you're holding down A to push. When your foot touches the ground and kicks, backwards towards you, right about when it's about to start like swinging your leg all the way forward, because like your leg has to swing all the way back forward before it can do the animation to push again.
Yeah.
If you flick any direction on the right stick, it cancels that animation and will just immediately push again. So you can do
Really?
3 pushes in the time it takes to do 2, which is like huge over the course of an hour-long speedrun.
Yeah.
Especially like even like recovering from a fall or having to repeat a challenge again, or gaining speed. Like you can get to top speed so fast now. You can do your 3 pushes before the 3-second countdown of a film timer starts, But none of us had known that, and someone said something in the Discord about it the other day. So I made like a video and I posted it on Twitter, and then there are a few people that are like, "Oh, this has been known about since 2014." It's like, then why didn't you tell us?
Why didn't you tell the speedrunning guys?
It's like, why weren't you like, "Hey, why are you doing the slow pushing for an hour? Like, come on, help us out."
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude,
That's crazy
it's wild.
that this late in the game, there's still like a breakthrough like that.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about speedrunning, because like almost every game is like that. Like, even games from like N64 are just getting completely destroyed like left and right nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people think that certain games were as fast as they would ever be like 10 years ago, and now maybe they're like a quarter of the time it was back then even. It's wild to see. And there we still have like things that we're trying to kind of theorize how we could break. Like for example, in the first Skate game, you have to do it a lot in Skate 2 as well. There's like all the contests, and you have to wait for the timer in the middle of the screen to reach 0. Now, if there was some way to like manipulate that, or like fall on a certain object and it like ends at the timer or something, like I feel like someone's gonna find something very weird and groundbreaking like that one day. Kind of similar to how like there's all of the wrong warps that exist in Skate 3, like in the death races. I don't know if you've seen those before, but in a lot of the death races, you can just like bail at a certain part and it'll just throw you through the finish line.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like I've always wondered if there's certain things like that, like maybe there's a spot in Skate where you can bail and spawn inside of the X Games, or like, like
There probably
maybe
is.
there's something, but it's like, how would you sequence break the game and do that at the same time? I don't know. It's so weird, but I feel like the games are they're all in a really good spot right now, but I almost feel like it's just getting started. Like I feel
Dang.
like the games are just gonna get even faster, and anyone could join the community at any time and just save a couple minutes somehow, And that's just, I don't know. I'm waiting for it. It's so exciting to see.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that. Especially because like with other aspects of skate, there's like people figuring out like in terms of like comp or something like that, people are like trick lining, stuff like that. People are finding breakthroughs still in the game, and it's happening in speedrunning too. So it's really cool to
Oh,
see.
definitely. Right? Like wasn't too long ago we just saw the first 100,000 at Mega Park in Skate 3.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
Luke hit
like
that.
it was
Crazy
so
man.
wild. Never would have thought that it would have happened in like, 2015 or like even like 2010, 2011 when the game came out. There's no way. If
Right.
someone would have told me back then, like, yeah, someone's gonna get 100,000 points here. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, what are you talking about? The game's too realistic. Like,
Right. And even more ridiculous, it's like, yeah, 13 years from now, someone's gonna
yeah,
get that. Like, what?
like, what do you mean? No, no, they're not. They're gonna be playing Skate 4. It'll surely
Right.
be out.
We'll definitely have Skate 4 by then.
I'm just happy we're getting a new skate game.
Dude, me too. Let's talk about that. I
Yeah,
mean,
let's
like,
do it.
how are you feeling about a new skate game after playing these for so long?
You know, I'm just thankful that it's happening, and I'm thankful that like the free to play thing at first I was kind of on the fence with, just because
Mm,
I want the game so bad and I want the game to succeed really bad that it's like, can I please just give you my $70 and like hold the copy of the game and play it? But
yeah.
the more and more I thought about it, it's like we've never had a free to play skateboarding anything for anybody. And just to
Right.
think like how big that will be for skateboarding is it's crazy. Like I think so many people are going to be um exposed to skateboarding that, maybe had only seen it, flipping through their TikTok or something every once in a while, or maybe they like watch the X Games every now and then, but now they're able to download and play the skate game for free on whatever
Yeah.
platform they own, and more than likely like maybe even fall in love with skateboarding and go buy a board at their local skate shop.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
I'm really excited to see that.
right. It's a free entry to skateboarding, literally, into
Right.
skateboarding culture, like what the
Most
tricks
definitely.
are, all this stuff. So,
Right. I mean, I was skateboarding before I picked up the controller for skate, and that's why it was just so groundbreaking to me. It's like, no way, I'm gonna push the stick back, almost like slamming my foot down, and then I'm gonna
hmm
flick the stick to the left, like I'm flicking and my foot to the left of my board and I'm doing a kickflip. Like it's real life. Like it was so
yeah,
groundbreaking back then. And I think it's gonna be cool to see like a new generation of kids starting to skate, that are maybe playing and learning skateboarding alongside this new free to play skate experience that, from everything that I've seen in these boardroom meetings and like the playtest highlights they're showing, it's got everything. It's like they're showing some of the most realistic skating we've ever seen, and then they're showing the most like wacky, wild, arcade, just fun things, that you can do with like your friends and whoever else. So
right,
it's like it's gonna have something for everyone. I'm so stoked.
for sure. It sounds like you're very, very hyped for it.
Yeah, I'm stoked, dude.
Yeah. Um, so for the new game, what are some things that like you're hoping it has? Like, do you have a wish list for this game?
My my big thing is I really just want a story mode. I
Okay.
want some sort of story mode that I can replay. I want to be able to like speed run it in more of like the traditional sense, but the vibes that I'm getting from the last boardroom meeting, it kind of sounded like it was going to be more of like a constantly changing experience, but I'm just
Yeah.
really hoping that there maybe is like a core handful of challenges or like a core story that doesn't necessarily change, but maybe just like gets added onto, so
Mm,
that, there's something to replay. But if in like a perfect world, if we could get a story or kind of like a story mode similar to the first game, where you're just having that mid 2000s skater's dream where you're getting the footage, you're getting the sponsors, you're winning the contest, you're going to the X Games, you're going to the Mega Park at the very end. Like, I don't know, just like the progression of the first game felt so natural and almost, realistic to that of like a skateboarder's dream of like someone who wanted to be a pro skateboarder. It almost
yeah.
just felt like that kind of story. And if that was somehow in the game, like that would be my number one. But other than that, I would really just like to see, some old brands come back, some new brands come in, some new skaters come in, maybe returning of some old skaters. Like, we gotta have Danny Way in the game again. Like, come on,
Right.
have to.
Hmm.
I'd love to see a return of like Shingo and Retta. Um, Honestly,
Same.
if there are like contest sections in the game again, I I hope Cuz is announcing them. Like that's I guess another check mark wish list thing for me. Cuz has to
Yeah.
announce the contest.
I
But
think that's like a must have. I think everyone in the
yeah,
community stands by
it
that.
has to be a must have.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, it's been so long that I'm kind of ready for everything, and like I still play the old skate games so much that I know that whatever the new game has to offer, I'm gonna love it, and I know that I'm gonna like still continue to play the old games for the reasons I love them too.
Yeah.
But I'm
Right.
just excited to have another skate to play. Like I said, I even
Mm.
play Skated on the Wii. I'm not that picky. I like them all.
Yeah, I think the story mode thing is really interesting in your case because it's like there's a new skate game being made, and if you want to speed run it, like if there's no story, like that kind of can't happen. So,
Right?
it, I
I'm sure I'd
there,
figure out something, or like someone else would figure out something too, because even if there isn't a story, there's gonna have to be some level of progression towards something,
mm,
So maybe if like I don't know, we'll figure it out.
like a
But
like
if there is a story mode, it would just make it a little easier to be like, oh, finish the game. But if it's
right,
maybe more of like a level based thing, and you have to like maybe grind challenges to like hit a level, or if maybe it's just like even in like Skate 3 there's categories for just doing all death races or just doing like all
yeah,
the films. So like I'm sure like we'll find something. But with the language they've used and some of the videos about like challenges maybe changing and like people being able to throw down their own challenges, I think there could be some really like wacky online speedruns with that. I
yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
true.
I just my brain's been like really turning. I'm really excited to see like what they're doing with the game, so then I can know for sure what's gonna happen with like speedruns and stuff. But I'll be enjoying the game for a really long time before I'm trying to rush it too hard.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it right now, like with a live service skate game, you actually, in a way, might have like infinite speed runs because the more stuff comes into the game, like the
Yeah.
more stuff that's created by other players. Like there could be even be like parkour speed runs of like
Oh,
certain
for
courses or
sure.
something. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Um. Oh, speaking of that too. Sorry, just another thing that needs to be in the new skate game. We have to have a return of Hollow Meat. I'm
Yeah.
seeing all of the what are they calling it? Flumping,
Yeah.
flipping,
Flumping.
jumping, running, whatever. Which
Mm.
I think that's so funny. That's such a just a perfect name for it. But
Yeah.
I don't think we can have that and not have Hollow Meat. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for
we
sure.
have to have Hollow Meat. So I also have to say that. I think it would
I
also be really cool to have like a return of magazine covers, or maybe even something similar to that.
mm.
I suppose I don't know. Maybe they'd be like, "Oh, you got Thrasher's monthly YouTube spot," or like
Yeah.
I don't know, like
That's what
whatever.
I was thinking. You got the most popular TikTok video or
Yeah,
something.
you got the most popular TikTok of your TikToker skater of the year. Like
Yeah.
if there's something like that, but just the old feeling of grinding for the cover challenge. It's just I want something like that again too. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of new types of challenges that are just gonna be a ton of fun to play as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I just hope it sticks and I hope people keep playing it.
Yeah, I do too. Even like with what you said though too, with possibly like infinite speedruns. like they were saying, if it's going to be kind of a growing, changing game, I don't know if maybe even the world would change over time. Like I don't know what they mean by that, but maybe there could be a
Yeah.
speed run for like each version. So like 1.0, 1. 1.2, and
Mm.
like maybe the route or challenges change. But the only thing with that is then I think the leaderboards would just have to like get locked or something, once you move to the next update, because I don't know if you'd be able to like play old versions of it.
Yeah.
But if there's a way to somehow be able to play the game, I believe they said it's going to be an always online game in that last boardroom. Um, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to do it, but even if you could just like still play the game single player, like in your own world or something, like that's
Mm.
another thing that I would really like to be in the next game.
I
Because
hope they have
I was
that.
just
That
thinking about that. Like, imagine trying to do a speed run and then you have people like briefing you with, you know,
yeah.
objects or whatever. That
Right.
would actually kind of suck.
Yeah, or just like lagging because you're in this server that you don't even want to
Yeah,
be in. Like,
no, true. All of a sudden,
yeah.
there's like 40 people around you, and you're just trying to like speed glitch through them or something. I
Yeah.
assume there will be glitches in the new game as well, but
I'm sure the community will find a way.
yeah, they'll find a way. Especially with it being on PC, they'll find a way pretty fast, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be a big miss if they didn't let you like go into your own private game.
Yeah,
Like,
I do too. I think it would be a huge miss. Like it's really exciting to see like the screenshots of like 20 people hitting a mega ramp at once, but um I just also want to. It would be cool to be able to have your own world or your own private world, even with just like a handful of friends.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I hope they have those options.
I think if there's like a leveling system too, it could be like say the level cap's like 50 and it's like
Yeah.
speed running to level 50 or something crazy. That might take
No.
forever, but I don't
Totally though.
know.
No. Totally. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was thinking too. There's gonna be something. There will be something.
Right.
I feel like every game, no matter what it is, like someone's gonna find a speed run for it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the speedrunning scene adapts to a
Yeah. Right.
like an online game like that. Is there games out there where people like do people speedrun like Destiny? Like Destiny is
Oh
kind
yeah.
of
Yeah. I think
so
people do like co-op speed runs of that too.
okay. I'm trying to
I know
think of
people
other
even
like
speedrun
online
like
games like that.
I think people even speedrun like RuneScape.
That's ridiculous.
Like I think every game has a speedrunner and every speedrunner has a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm,
Like I feel like everyone's got something they're like really into that they just might want to do a bunch of times forever until they
there's a game
reach
for
their
every
goal.
speedrunner.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes there's a lot of games. Like I speedrun a ton of games, but I try to just mainly focus on skate so I don't lose my muscle memory.
What are some of your other like favorite games at speedrun?
I like a bunch of Resident Evil games. Portal is a ton of fun to speedrun. Um, I also speedrun Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, but not too
Oh,
much
nice.
anymore. But that was probably my favorite skateboarding game, like as a younger kid.
Mm.
Played that so much on PS2, but by the time Skate came out, I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm sorry, Tony
Yeah.
Hawk. Like, no offense, dude. No offense.
Yeah.
Love your game still, but it's not the same. But also, I don't know if you ever played it back in the day, but I also speedrun Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, the
Okay,
the
nice.
Disney Tony Hawk game that was made like inside of Tony Hawk 4.
Mm,
That was I more so learned that just kind of for the memes and for the fun, but
yeah.
I also just love Disney stuff. But like, Resident Evil Village was my first speedrun ever. Run a bunch of categories for that game. Some of them I don't do anymore because Capcom did patch out like a bunch of the glitches. But I also do Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake. I've done some speedruns of, but I just haven't uploaded anything to speedrun.com yet for that. A few weeks ago, I don't know if you played Final Fantasy 16 at all, or if you're into
I
like
did not.
RPGs or anything, but I decided to like try and be one of the first people to speedrun that. So I got it's like a 10-hour, 58-minute speedrun
What?
within the first week it was out.
Wait,
It
are you
was
doing that in one sitting?
awful. Yeah, it was a
Oh my
really long
god.
stream. So I did my casual playthrough, like I streamed the whole thing, and then while I was doing that, I was like taking notes for a speed run just because I was like, it's always fun when a new game comes out to, I don't know, just kind of jump in and like be one of the first people running it. I always like meet new people doing that too.
Mm.
So I wanted to do that with this game, and I figured because the game has I think 15 hours of cutscenes over the like 30-hour playthrough. So I'm like, okay, well, if I skip the 15 hours of cutscenes and I skip all the dialogue, I could probably do the game in like, I don't know, like 6, 7 hours is what I was thinking. Like that was my estimate.
Mm.
But all of the boss fights in that game are some of the most cinematic things I've ever seen in gaming, not to get like too off topic, but they don't let you skip the cutscene. So that was
Oh,
like hours of the run itself.
dang.
But it got to the point where I was like, so I was 6 hours in and I'm like, yeah, I probably got 2 hours left. And then I got to that 8 hour point and I'm like, okay, I could give up now, but then I'd have to repeat this 8 hours if I ever wanted to speedrun the game one time.
Yeah.
So I just ended up pushing through to the end, but it was just under 11 hours, dude. It was rough. I'm not a RPG speedrunner. I like the
No,
like
the
hour long speedruns the most.
yeah. That game does not sound very speedrun friendly.
No, not at all. But I mean, I wasn't using any glitches. I was just like rushing through the game as fast as possible just to like, see what was, possible. But
Right.
I've dabbled with so many speedruns. Like I've done Kingdom Hearts speedruns as well, but you know, back then I was
Hmm.
complaining that a 3-hour speedrun was way too long. I still can't believe I even attempted the Final Fantasy 16 run.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that's definitely a one and done. I don't think I'll ever run that game again unless it like somehow becomes a 2-hour long game. But I don't think that'll happen.
Right.
I'll just stick with the skate games for now. I
Have you done Portal 2? That's like one of my favorite speed runs.
I haven't done Portal 2, but I really want to. And I think Portal
Okay.
2 co-op would be a ton of fun.
Yeah, that would be
I
crazy.
I really want to do some co-op speedruns. I was kind of thinking about it earlier. I was even talking with Expired about it, but I think you could do like a Skate 3 co-op speedrun if you wanted. You just have like one person that already had all of the challenges done so they could just teleport to them and then have someone
Mm,
else on a new character so that they can go from 0 to 1 million board sales. But I think that could be
yeah.
a ton of fun too. But no, I've sorry, never done Portal 2 speedruns. I've played Portal 2. It's a wonderful game. I love it.
Yeah.
But
I
no,
don't do it. I've seen videos of it and I thought it was funny.
oh yeah,
The
no,
Portal
it's
speedruns are funny.
yeah, Portal speedruns are awesome. You ever seen like the Portal airboat speedrun? You should
I don't
just look
know.
that up sometime. I can link it to you after
Okay.
this. You'll get a
Okay.
kick out of it.
There's oh, the Oblivion speedrun's hilarious too.
Oh, dude, those are awesome. That's actually on my list right now. Um, I tried doing something last summer, and I'm gonna try it again this year, but approach it differently. Last summer, I wanted to do Quickmas in July, so instead of Christmas, I was gonna learn a different speed run every day, which
Oh my god.
sometimes I can get really ambitious. I yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. My brain can't handle that. But like during that week, that's when I learned the Tony Hawk 3 speedrun. I learned Disney Stream Extreme Skate Adventure. I learned Portal Glitchless, and then I think the fourth day I learned Fallout New Vegas, and
Oh
then my
my
brain was
god.
just fried. I was like, okay, I I have so much time saving all these games. How am I supposed to learn something new?
Yeah.
But
Dang.
what I want to do now is just for fun, I'm gonna keep speedrunning skate games on the weekends, and I want to start hosting like races, and other like skate events as well. But during
That'd
the
be cool.
week, I'm gonna try to learn a different speedrun, like every single week, and then the next week, I'm gonna make like a little like speedrun explain documentary on like the
Mm,
previous week and that process, and then just kind of like rinse and repeat that. But Oblivion's on there. It's one of the games I really want to learn. That speedrun is so funny.
yeah.
I'd really like to learn Fallout 3. I learned most of the route, but the game soft locks all the time, so I didn't spend too much time in it. It's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go load up skate. Um,
Right.
but I also really want to do Bloodborne speedruns, and I really want to get into
Oh
Elden Ring
God.
speedruns too. Um, I'm like outside of skate speedrunning, I'd say I was most known for like Elden Ring TikToks. I did like a ton of tutorials and guides, like the first year that that game was out. But I always wanted to get into Elden Ring speedrunning, but I've always been grinding skate for something, so I just put it off. One
Mm,
day I do want to like get into Elden Ring speedrunning. Just looks so fun, but I think I'll wait until the expansion drops for that.
dude, I struggled so much to play that game, and I can't even imagine trying to speedrun it. That's
So
crazy.
much fun. So much fun.
Um, have you ever played Titanfall 2?
I haven't, but I've seen speedruns for it and it's incredible. The
There's
movement
like
in that game looks great.
yeah, it's amazing. But there's like this one tutorial course thing. They like you it's like a trophy to
I
get
know
it
what you're
on
talking
a
about.
PlayStation. Yeah, you should try
Yeah,
that. That's really fun.
I will. I'll try it.
It's
Actually,
very precise.
I think I might have Titanfall 2 on Steam. So maybe I
I
could
mean,
give
it's
it a
on
go on there.
I think it's on Game Pass if you have Game Pass, but
Oh, I probably that's probably where I saw it. I was like, I know I
yeah.
saw it on some sort of game launcher on my PC.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'll give that a shot. I've always wanted to. A good buddy of mine has always said that Titanfall 2 would be great to speedrun.
Yeah. I don't know about the whole game, but I tried to do that course and I could never get the time for it because
Yeah,
it's super
it's
hard, but
it's kind of similar to like the old like Modern Warfare 2 courses and stuff, right?
I mean, I would assume so. I don't really know. I'm
Okay,
not familiar with those, but
no,
I
that's
mean,
okay. You
it's
just
like
like
the
kind of had
same
a
devs pretty much.
yeah, you'd like run through a course and not shoot the wrong guys and like
Oh
throw your
yeah, yeah.
flashbang at
I remember those. You
the
go through
right
like
time and
the
yeah,
cardboard houses and stuff or the wooden
yeah.
houses.
And I think it
Okay.
had a trophy for like 35 seconds or something. I remember grinding that like way
Yeah,
back in the day.
it's
But it,
exactly that. Just Titanfall.
okay, yeah, I have to do that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Um, I guess we'll start wrapping it up because we've been going for an hour.
All right, sounds good to me, dude.
Um, I do want to ask you, I mean, you kind of touched on it in the beginning. What else do you do? What else are you into?
I'm into a lot of stuff. I love like just making digital art. Love just hanging out with my wife, going to theme parks.
Nice.
We have season passes for our local park, so we just go hang out there all the time instead
That's
of
awesome.
just it's like our instead of going and like walking around like a park, we just go walk around there.
That's way cooler than a park.
Yeah, we both used to work at Disney, so we love
What,
just
really?
yeah we love just spending time in theme parks together. And um our our theme park, they had this like insane deal last fall. To get season passes, it was like $7 a month. It's like, yeah,
That's
okay.
insane.
Like, I'm not gonna say no to that.
Yeah,
That's
what?
cheaper than Netflix, dude. Like, what do you
Yeah,
mean? Parking's like $30 normally at this place. Like, and I can go as much as I want for $7 a month. Like, yeah, sign me up, dude.
yeah, yeah, that's crazy. That's a
But
no-brainer.
I love making music. I haven't been in bands in a really long time, but I was in a lot of different metal bands back in the day. Like nothing huge, but um,
Okay.
always love
What?
making music, recording music, writing music. Still like doing a lot of that stuff too.
I
Um,
got you.
but
What kind of metal did you play?
um,
I'm into metal, so
oh hell yeah! When I was like a little teenager, it was like the Christian metalcore stuff because that's what all the local venues were around me.
Yeah.
And then like early 2010s, I still am, but I was like super into Volumes back then.
Oh my
I don't
God,
know if
of
you've ever heard of
course.
that band. So, oh,
Yes, dude.
hell yeah, let's go, dude. So, tons of that style, like quote unquote gent, whatever
Yeah.
people want to call it,
Super genty.
metalcore subgenre
Hmm.
XYZ. That's the kind of stuff I like. I play a lot of seven strings.
Oh
Um,
my God. Yeah, you're
yeah,
definitely gent for sure.
yeah. Sometimes the still have the classic like gent kid setup, like a Iban, couple different Ibanez and Axe effects, and you know,
Right.
don't need too much else.
That's sick, dude. Yeah, I was in a metalcore band for a while, a couple
Oh hell
years.
yeah! What do you play
Yeah,
guitar, or what do you
I
play?
I sang and played bass at a certain point as well.
Hell yeah,
Um,
dude. That's
Not any
sick.
good. I'm not gonna say I was good, but I did it and it was
I
fun.
mean, if you had fun, dude, that's really all that matters. It's just all
Yeah,
about expressing yourself, just like skateboarding or playing
right.
skate or anything.
Exactly.
That's sick, dude. I love meeting other people that also like, you know, you never know who like used to do music or like be in a band or anything like that. So it's cool to
Right.
be like, oh, that's cool,
Yeah, and it's not often that you find people that listen to that kind of music because,
Oh yeah,
you
I've
know,
uh I've been listening to that stuff forever. Um,
yeah.
I've there's a I wouldn't say that they're like a newer band from Minnesota, but like I think they've been around for a few years and they just kind of drop a single every once in a while. But there's this band called Our Common Collapse, and they just dropped a new
Okay.
single I think like yesterday or the day before. But dude, you should check that out. It's like really heavy, especially if you like
Absolutely.
more like Viljarda or more of like the Thal sound.
Yeah.
They're a little
I
more
love
that kind of
After the Burial.
oh hell yeah,
Like
dude. I love After the Burial as well. Their
yeah.
bass player used to live two houses down, or their
What?
original bass player.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah. No,
Man.
they're from the Twin Cities, so I grew up going to their shows and opening for them, and like when I was in smaller bands and stuff. Even my last
Bro.
band, we shared. We had a practice space at like the same place they had a practice space at. Same with like Motion City Soundtrack, which is just weird. Like
What?
just go outside to like load gear into the car, and like a big touring band is like loading their gear
Yeah.
into their practice space. It's like, oh, what up?
That's crazy. Dude, yeah, After the Burial's like one of the best shows I've ever been to. Those guys are insane.
Yeah, dude, they're the best. Like R.I.P. Justin, man. Honestly, if it wasn't for After the Burial, especially Justin Lowe, I probably never would have like wanted to pick up a seven string guitar.
Right.
Um, like the first song that I heard on a seven string, I was like, dude, I need that. Was a steady decline on Forging
Hmm.
a Future Self, their first record, like
Yes.
forever ago.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I gotta get something, and I had this like super like inexpensive Kramer seven string that I've never seen anywhere else again. I don't even know what it was, but I had that for like a little while until I was able to like save up and get a nicer seven string. But that band definitely got me into like extended range guitar, because before
Yeah.
that it was a lot more of the like drop C guitar stuff. Like in like middle school, I was really into like As Blood Runs Black and like
Okay.
more that kind of metalcore. I don't know that
Hmm.
the record Allegiance, I think that's what it was called at least. That was a pretty prominent record back then.
That's sick, man. I didn't know you were into all of that.
Oh yeah, I'm into a lot of things. Like I also just like chill hop and stuff like that. Um, I worked in the coffee industry for 10 years. Was a certified coffee master for a handful of
What?
years as well.
Wait, what does that even mean? What is a
Uh,
coffee master?
it means that I used to be able to drink coffee and like ramble on about everything that I could taste in it. Um, it used to do a lot of fun things. I'd go to like barista competitions and hold like nice like private event tastings with like really high end coffees, and did a lot of fun stuff
What
in
the
that
heck?
industry as well.
That's so cool. That is the most
I've
like random cool thing I've ever heard.
I've done a lot of really like random stuff, but I feel like it's all pretty like artsy.
Yeah, it
You know,
seems
it's
like
all
it.
like some sort of like I don't know, arts and crafts or music. Like I feel like it always can just be kind of fallen into one of those categories, or like video editing, or I don't know.
I
I feel
guess
like
you're just a
I got a
very
lot of
creative person.
yeah. Normally if I think something's cool, I just try to learn how to do it myself.
That's cool, man.
I don't know.
That's cool to learn. I mean, like go out and learn stuff and like
Yeah.
explore and stuff like that.
No, totally. That's I don't know. I feel like that's a big part of life. We're just here to, continuously like learn and experience new things. So I'm always just trying to, find and get better at like a new hobby, or, achieve a new goal or anything like that.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Um, well, I guess that's it.
All
I
right,
would
dude.
like to keep talking to you about metal, but
You can
I'm sure a
message
lot
me
of people are
anytime, dude.
like, yeah, no, we're definitely gonna, you gotta send me that band you just said, because I'm gonna forget it.
No, for
And
sure. I
we'll,
I can uh I can send you some of my old stuff too.
yeah,
My
that
last
too,
band,
yes.
we did some more random stuff. Like we were on Dana White's TV show looking for a fight. Um,
What?
yeah, like we took Dana White, Matt, Sarah, and their friend Nick into a recording studio, and we taught them how to play a song that we wrote the night before that was not metal at all, and we were like a pretty heavy band. So
What the
it
heck?
was a really funny, just kind of wild experience. And then we played a show at some random bar that I guess was kind of affiliated with like MMA fights, but I don't think they ever had the kind of music our band was. Like I don't think they had any kind of like heavy or like progressive metalcore type stuff
Yeah.
at this place ever. I remember we were loading in and someone's like, "Oh, who's this band?" And someone's like, "Oh, I think they're like a bluegrass jam band." It's like,
What?
no, look out, dude. Like,
Get
but
ready.
like we played like half our set, and then they came up and performed their song, and Matt Sarah was on vocals and Dana White was on drums, and their friend Nick was playing my guitar. Dude, it was the funniest thing ever.
That is so
I'll
weird.
have to send you that.
Yeah, that is that's crazy, man. But yeah, send me the other band, and we'll talk about metal, I'm sure.
No, it sounds good,
Um,
dude.
I know people listening to this probably are like, "What the hell are they talking about?" So,
Right? Like you're gonna wrap it up already. Quit talking, Supa.
no, um, no, this has been great, man. I appreciate you coming on, and maybe we'll have to get back together one day and have another
No, for sure,
conversation.
dude. I'd love that. That'd be awesome. Thanks again for having me on. This was a ton of fun, dude.
Yeah,
And
absolutely,
yeah, again, anytime you want to talk music or skate or anything, just hit me up.
for sure, absolutely. All right, sounds good, man.
That sounds good. Peace, dude.